The REACH project is one of the most thorough projects for children's literacy I've ever been around.
The children have been motivated to learn, and their horizon has just expanded to the highest, and so have mine.
It meets expectations that I would have never had before I saw that program.
What is this letter here?
A. Well, if we know that research tells us that future readings based on letter knowledge, letter sounds, and vocabulary, and we have hit all three of those parts very heavily, by third grade they should all be successful readers. That's the goal.
A lot of things change each year. As one year changed, we learned more to do with the kids that we wouldn't do in classroom.
We would come away with new knowledge. We would come away with new strategies. We would come away with new skills.
Writing on paper, we would do that sitting at a table with the kids, but now with the REACH project, they learn to go and write on their own. And we've learned better throughout the year as the project went on, and it's been more effective.
The room, oh boy. With the grant, it's helped it be more structured, more confined. It's sectioned off where students can be more productive in what they're doing.
REACH provided us all the things that we couldn't have had if it wasn't for REACH. We wouldn't have had all the things that we had to work with.
Books, the equipment for those to play with, the toys and things to play with in the classroom.
A lot of the things that was provided by the grant, there is no way we would have been able to have all of those things.
We got lots of support from the staff from the REACH program.
We had a lot of workshops that taught us how to use some of the stuff that we had gotten and how to use some of the materials that we had too, and what was effective and what was the best practice to do.
And my job was to go in and help the teachers, if they had questions, to implement those strategies that we had learned, implement what they thought would help their children.
Before the REACH project, we did everything in whole group. We did not have any small groups. If we did do a small group, it was just a one-on-one for like IEP goals, something that we worked on individually. But since the REACH grant, we now do small groups. Our whole day is composed of small groups, and it seems to work better. First, we become more familiar with the book, like doing the front and back.
Each child get a chance to come up, do something with the book, or say how they feel about whatever it is that we're teaching.
And we also like to ask them questions, open-ended questions to help them think. And we like to sometimes do things from prior knowledge. Sometimes it's usually something that we've already reviewed or talked about during that week. It's based on the theme that we're working on.
I'll go over the story and find all the vocabulary words, and then I'll introduce them to the children and plus give them an example of that word. And then when I do the retelling of a story, then they will actually hear that word again, so they will become more familiarized with the story.
I work with the children one-on-one. What I work with them on is based on what they need. We do intervention, no more than a couple of minutes. Go through, do it, zap. And it's better to work with them one-on-one because it's specifically what this child needs.
We'll come together and kind of brainstorm on some of the things that we're going to utilize within the theme. And then we'll just go out in the community and kind of find things to come in. So to give the kids more like a hands-on concrete thing, because a lot of the kids, for example, they're not familiar with a boat.
Did you notice any patterns or gaps that maybe we need to go back and focus on for an intervention on the PA piece? We'd look at the data, we'd look and see which child is not making the goal in like 7 different areas. So the teachers go back and they do strategies to help the children with those skills that they're slower in. And then every 2 weeks they test them again to see how that progress is coming along. If they're not making progress and the strategy is not working, then we talk about maybe trying a different strategy. We try the same strategy for a couple of weeks. If it doesn't work, we know we need to move on. And the progress monitoring tells us about that. We do that 3 times a year, and then there's a progress monitor between those formal assessments. If a child tests out of that and no longer needs intervention, that's wonderful. My team works so well together. They're so supportive of each other.
The whole thing is caring about the kids, having respect for each other. We help each other when we can.
We work fantastic. It's fantastic when we get together.
So it's just a big sharing out and working together.
We're a family now.
Oh, yes.
What is it?
I'm a Reach baby. I started with Reach.
The highlight has been the different units that we have.
Them learning how to write the names, or say the syllables of a word, or sound it out. That was the highlight for me, for them to sound the words out and write their names. Because I know if they didn't know how to write their name, didn't know the letters, they weren't gonna go nowhere.
But I have learned new things and new research and new strategies. My expectations for children were not high enough. The children have learned to appreciate books. They have learned to appreciate learning their alphabet. They have learned to write their letters. They're learning sounds. They're learning to blend sounds. They're learning deletions of sounds. I mean, it's a complete package.
It has been very resourceful for me, and I plan on staying here until I retire.
And it just makes you feel good to see how far they came from where they came from.